You know, the planets are like flashlights. So what do I mean by that? Well, a flashlight is something that creates a spotlight in a particular area of life. So the planets is the same thing. You know, as the planets travel through the ecliptic, the 360, as it moves through different positions, it's actually going to highlight a particular area of your life to pay attention to. And based on the area or house in your life that you are paying attention to, it's going to either create a situation or experience thoughts and feelings about fulfillment or a lack of fulfillment. So these planets is like flashlights. Whenever they revolve around the ecliptic, you know, they highlight certain areas of our life, focusing or forcing our attention to pay attention to that area. Because since the planet has a lot of gravitational pull, it's when it moves into that position, it reflects that synergy with our organs. And since our organs represent, since you have a relative position, how you manufactured your organs, it's the same blueprint, but how you look at that particular situation is not the same. This is why you might come to the conclusion that some people in life may appear like they lack empathy with their heart, because whatever position that their heart has taken in this lifetime may not be something that has to do with the realm of feelings or the right brain. Because, you know, anything to do with the the root chakra, the moon chakra, or the Ouroboros chakra, which is above your head and shit like that, signifying the cycle, the patterns that you are in, things like that have to do with the feminine realm. But sometimes when some spirits choose their date of birth coming to this dimension, they structure their, because we all create our own version of this life within us. So some people structure their feelings in a way where it's just practical. It's just something that they want to communicate. And some people, you know, structure their external realm like, you know, feelings. But if you study cosmology, you'll start to see that objectivity is where you're supposed to be practical, supposed to be logical, and subjectivity is where you can be emotional and creative and things like that. So we just create our own version of these wheels, and we all express ourselves differently. This is why you might feel certain synergies with some people, and certain people you may not feel certain synergies with, you know. But if you really understand what's going on, it's just basically causing a chemical reaction when you meet people, because we are exuding these energies. And so when these energies clash and collide, they cause like a chemical reaction. Now that chemical reaction might be like a square in astrology, like a learning opportunity, something that, like, you know, you never see a car with a rectangular wheel, right? Because otherwise it would be difficult to move. So in that situation, it might be difficult, but it's still a learning opportunity, because we're all learning about all these virtues and principles that we are experiencing as these planets travel through the sky, because it's helping us build up that tissue, it's helping us build up that energy so we can be sufficient in that area. Now, some people say that, you know, in every lifetime you're here to master certain aspects, and some lifetimes, well, basically mastering certain aspects after every lifetime. You know, when you graduate, and then you create your Merkaba and you can leave out of here. But since God is all possibility, there's so many ways to attack a situation. Some people literally choose to stay on Earth. Some people literally choose to leave Earth. But see, you have to know what you're doing, because if you attach yourself to the desires and the virtues and principles of this being that we are in, because we say that we are made in the image of God, but really we made ourselves in the image of this snake being we are in, this being's desire. And this being outside of the world is just like how we are looking at a bunch of people here around us. It's the same thing. It's looking at a bunch of people around it. And just like how your cells take on your attributes and characteristics, you are taking on some of the attributes and characteristics of this being that we are in. This is why some people call it the reincarnation wheel. But you can create your own version of the wheel, because this is what you already did, down to even you being in your mother womb, kind of like hugging your knees and shit like that. So we create our own version of these wheels, and we get born to this realm based on particular times that we choose to, based on the lessons and the things that we are here to learn. So when you feel like something is off with you, and you're generating certain strains of thoughts that you wasn't doing last month, it may just be because it's either a full moon outside, or because a planet has now taken a position or switched degrees, and now you are looking at a different situation, right? Because we think we are looking out there in the world. Really, you are looking inside of yourself, and you are looking out there in the world. So sometimes some people get in their root chakra and their sexual energies, and they start to look for that out there. Some people get into their heart chakra and they start to want to give their feelings to people, like, oh, I want to take care of this puppy here, I want to pet you, oh my god, you're so cute, and things like that. So all the energies that we have inside of us, we the ones externalizing it. And sometimes when these planets move, we might build up a train of thought that's catastrophic, like on a full moon, for example, because a lot of people get killed on a full moon and shit like that. A lot of shit goes down on a full moon and things like that. If you really pay attention to the news, you start to see the patterns, because this is how the shadow government is the shadow government, because they know some shit that the average person doesn't know, and they will purposely make you think that this shit is either evil with their religious programs, Abrahamic religions, or they will just dumb it down, like put out that guy like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, it's not about attributes and characteristics, it's about astronomy. It's astronomy. Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's dumb as fuck, dude. You don't even know Mason, shadow government agent, bro. Real fucking shit, I'm telling you. Because when you see somebody being too left-brained out, that tells you that person does not have no balance. When you see somebody being too right-brained out, that tells you that person is too emotional. So if you're too logical, too emotional, you don't have access to God, because now you forgot that there's two sides of the same coin. That's why they made the allegory about the devil and God, because the devil is like your chaos, your right brain, your demons, your internal feelings, and then God is like the angels, the order, the logic. So you can look at it like the right brain darkness is like black people. Is why black people are so creative, because they got like physical melanin, but melanin is really like mental melanin, but your physical vessel itself can capture information differently from like a white person. A white person is like an angel almost, not in the context of, oh, black people are evil, white people are good, or vice versa. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking some esoteric shit. So when you look at a white person, they may not necessarily be, I don't want to say creative, I don't want to say like, because you can see for yourself, the whole hip-hop culture gets copied. Everything that black people do get copied by other people, and the black people get left out of it, like as if they wasn't the one that developed that shit, right? So yeah, it's about learning. And this is why, look, even your cells inside of you, you got white people inside of you, you got black people inside, and they looking at each other too, and they going to war with each other, or they're being harmonious based on however you choose to direct your chakras and your internal planetary grid. So when these things is harmonious, you create a harmonious alkaline body. When these things is disharmonious, you create an acidic body. So when you manifest disease outside of you, it's really because you manifested dis-ease inside of yourself, and now this is the experience you are having due to the train of thought that you have created. Real fucking shit.